Yo, I'm sorry, chat, for the late stream. I know we're 4 games in, but I'm back, chat, and I got busy. I'm back.
But both Tidy and Bimbo looking incredibly low. Teeny, the potentially, right? This could be a great opportunity to strike, but he's still playing it patient. Still wants to ensure that when he does make his entrance, that it's going to net him surge. It's going to net him damage, but now Shark and Teeny, you'll have to watch as their prey just takes this fight somewhere else, completely out of the eye of where Shark was actually based at. And for Tidy and Jewel, this is definitely a very beneficial win here as they take down Bimbo and Radial, and that's going to make 4 eliminations already for these two.
That's been one of the most fun things about watching Tidy and Jewel today. They are not afraid of a fight. In fact, they allow fights to play into their favor. They want to get aggressive. They want to box fight people. Truly, and Mr. Savage just allowing this competition to maybe slip through their fingers just a bit. Day 1 was certainly a good start. Win to start the day and finished in top 10. A great performance, a great spot to be in. And today was just about continuing more of the same. Unfortunately, not quite there yet, but still plenty of games to get back into rhythm.
Savage and Truly also taking note of some of the players trying to make their way back down, touching solid ground. Minori not going to get the chance, will be dropped here, but the nature of this lobby for day 2, everyone seems to be playing at a much slower pace in comparison to how day 1 sort of panned out, and part of the reason why we see so many teams struggling for their surge. Initially, everyone had kind of been a lot more willing, I think, to sort of duke things out off spawn, but today's competition, it's all about who can play the Storm the best, not get tagged up on their way towards the edge of zone here. But Yanis Rex, they need a recovery point, especially after that early mistake. If there's ever a time to do it, it would certainly be right now. Only 18 above on the damage threshold, and material count not exactly where it needs to be. They want to pose further threat here. And yeah, just like that, Surge starting to work against them. They only need a little bit. Not a lot, but even then, no one really providing them much of an opportunity here.
Let's take a look at what Gonzo's cooking up. Patiently waiting at the toilet and... oh boy, cheating and Geras. Didn't see what hit him.
Rajab and Gonzo, we saw them camping out the teleporters, camping out the porta potties now. Methods of transportation just not seeming to be very safe when these two are in the lobby, but that's definitely going to pay them huge favors. These rotations. Managed to try and isolate a bit from the rest of the lobby. They know Pinker is directly next to them. Nathan Nebs also just underneath the bridge face. Sky and Scroll could be in a world of hurting here. It all depends on just how far Savage and Truly actually want to take this, but Savage doesn't have the luxury of deciding. He just needs to start getting active alongside his duo, Truly. They are currently below on the surge threshold, and neither of them has any form of shield. They're going to have to depend on body loot to make up the difference here. Hellfire and Winther. This is not going to be an easy battle for them to overtake. Savage and Truly instead reconsidering just when they want to try and pounce here. Sky and Scroll, no stoppage whatsoever. They were in some trouble. They managed to bail themselves right back out.
And what a game it would be if, after witnessing Shark and Teeny win with 10 eliminations and start to at least encourage people and give them hope that this will be a close competition of some sort, if they were to just come through and just win this game and completely shut up that whole narrative. Truly and Mr. Savage unfortunately go down, and once more will have to hit the drawing board.
Interesting shot right now, though. The way that everyone's trying to scale up the elevation. iDrop and Gonzo just trailing behind where Sky and Scroll were at. Teeny and Shark, though, they'll have the best seat in the house currently. Just looking down at everyone else trying to crawl their way up this mountain face and not really providing any sort of a safety net. Gotta be cautious, though. Gonzo has made his approach. Largely just wanted the positioning, but Sky and Scroll, only that one elimination so far. And Nebs and Nathan kind of playing a bit of spoiler early on. The surge is seemingly a problem right now for these two.
But look at their positioning. They have access to dead side and they're able to just walk through. Look at all the congestion on the right of the zone. And Sky and Scroll, the only duo in the lobby on the left. Look at all the time they have to work with. They don't have to block off the angles. They don't have to do anything. There's nobody around to cause them issues. I always talk about how these guys, it just feels like whenever you watch them, they have more time than the rest of the lobby to play with. And this is a perfect showcase of that here. And in such a great position here on dead side, they can look to refarm, maximize their materials as they move into this endgame, where once again, it will be the same script. Dominate front side low ground, wipe out the solos, and win the game.
And while it's true that they did have more time than most, the build count still not looking the healthiest, though, to completely lock down that frontside position. It all depends on how much material was actually expended from so many other teams that had to actually work their way through that congestion on the mountain face. So surely ample teams still working with scraps here, but Scroll takes a big chunk out of his shield count as now Shark and Teeny close in on Focus. It's a very solid elimination for these two to pick up, and they are still perched in a good spot. Potentially try and challenge for a height if they don't already have the best control of it so far, but Sky, Scroll, they need a refresh as Frosty and Josh, though, really making them work for it. Scroll has taken a bit of a beating here, but Sky immediately alleviating all of that pressure. A little bit of siphon materials, too, gonna go a long way for these two as they manage to circumvent the focus and pressure out of the congested areas in the lobby. They are ultimate low, and no one is anywhere near them.
Yeah, and look who holds high ground. Asa and Turtle, they came second in the last game. They are a team that desperately is trying to force a comeback into a global championship qualifying position. Cammy, unfortunately, will get dropped. There is no room for error in this one. Teeny and Shark know that, though. And so they look to continue their aggression, use the momentum they have.
It's just so hard to tell, though, where these players are going to start dropping in on you from. Everyone just swooping in at the final seconds because of how heavily this elevation just shifts at a moment's notice here. But Teeny and Shark still doing a great job controlling the flow of the lobby for the most part, even with Asa and Turtle overhead. As long as they can avoid their direct view, they can still lock down this middle layer of front side. But Sky and Scroll, they'll definitely be a duo to try and size up to later on. Good chop right now out of Teeny and Shark. But Asa, Turtle, even with them dropping, it's now just gonna be the open entry point that Shark and Teeny were waiting for. These two currently on the high ground, but they are going to need more if they want to try and hold on to it. They don't have a whole lot of builds up there as Sky and Scroll just continue to make their presence known on the low ground.
Yeah, some more players on this layer that they need to deal with. They found their refresh when they needed it before. Can they do it again? You'd have to think the answer will be yes. The zone starts to pull towards the north. It gives them a bit more time to try to force this fight onto Electris. And the pressure will continue, but eventually you have to move. No materials left for Scroll. And Sky will have to drop what he has to offer. And again, for a second, they will just find a bit of breathing room, a bit of space to set up for that next fight.
But look at the angle. Sky knows it. High ground is looking directly at them, but they need the refreshes, and they're going to manifest them every single time here, it seems. Sky and Scroll now just tearing through anyone who dares come near them on the low ground. Shark, Teeny still looking to see if they can replicate that Game 8 success. Sky goes up and immediately takes a whopping shot here. Sky and Scroll in the last 2v2, but it's actually going to be them who turn it around. You would think that Shark Shark and Teeny are about to bring this one home. And just like that, Sky and Scroll have 180 the positioning. Another victory royale. This is getting ridiculous here, Frankie.
It is getting ridiculous, but it's also getting better and better. The action just keeps on coming. The twists, the turns, having Sky and Scroll go head-to-head with their nearest rivals, Shark and Teeny, is just cinematic perfection, Mini Miner. And I expect to see more of that going to the next few games.
Wow, that was two of our top teams going head-to-head. We haven't really seen that too much throughout this weekend directly, but wow, how important could that moment be in terms of the momentum for Sky and Scroll? Maybe nipping it in the bud, if you like, for Shark and Teeny, because they were looking really good right there. But wow, Sky and Scroll.
Bro, chat. They need to bring back zero ping on East, bro. I'm actually gonna lose my mind, bro. Not zero ping. They need to bring back East, bro. I'm telling you, they need to bring back East. Like, this shit is so corny, bro. Like, where the fuck, like, they need to bring East back right now, bro. Fuck me, bro. Like, why aren't they bringing back East? Like, what the fuck? They're just not gonna bring back East. Yo, like, chat. I think I'm going. I think I'm going on zero ping too on East, and it's like, bro, like, why aren't they bringing like East servers? Like, what even is this? Like, I need, bro.
Gonna win, but Sky Scroll's playing consistent, blah, blah, blah. It's not even getting to that because Sky and Scroll are looking so unstoppable.
I love how every single movement from them and every single act of aggression is so calculated. And that's why they don't make any mistakes, because they're constantly assessing every single rotation, every single interaction with their enemies on the map. And I can't wait to see more. So we'll see you guys in a few minutes to talk about what else went down in Game
That's
9.
actually so crazy, bro. What even is that?
Ready? Let's get it. I'm here to win.
Bro, we got beat.
You're trash.
Y'all are trash!
It's gonna be a wild one.
Preparados, listos, verano. Con el verano de ofertas Honda. De la marca automotriz de línea completa con el más bajo consumo de combustible en los Estados Unidos. Visita hoy tu concesionario Honda local.
It's actually funny as shit, bro. Niggas said awareness checks. That's actually so funny, bro. What is that? Bro, shut your lame ass up, bro. Respect me, bro. Trackhawk, Trackhawk.
Yeah, it's nice to see Scroll not being the solo points clutch leader. Clutch solo points, you know what I'm talking about, because if we were thinking back to Major 1, he probably would be there. Even Summit would probably be there. So it's a vast improvement from these guys. And I mean, they are looking unstoppable. The only people who could stop them are Shark and Teeny, but they're now 244 points behind. Yesterday, Shark and Teeny, they just didn't have the discipline, it felt like, to really pull off the games that they needed to until game 6. Is it too late now, Takata, is the question I have for you.
I mean, it's never too late in Fortnite, right? You don't know what could happen. We've seen early game devastations happen as tournaments concluded, but it's getting there, right? I mean, 622 points for Sky and Scroll. They have an average placement of 5.1. Shark and Teeny are behind them on that stat at 11.2, more than double their average placement. So they are just playing way too good for anyone to be close to them right now.
And honestly, Frankie, I think if you'd asked me that question and Shark and Teeny had won this game, I'd be like, nah, not too late. Look at them. They just wiped Sky and Scroll right here. They were on the high ground. They were dominating that end game. They put themselves in the position and took down the team ahead of them. The fact that Sky and Scroll still won that game, despite all the things going against them early on in the game, low on bills, needed refreshes, low ground in a zone that was all over the place in terms of hills, you have to just say that Sky and Scroll is taking this. But it's really nice to see Shark and Teeny come into their own here in day 2, because we all knew they were capable of it. It's actually nice to see them actually showing it now.
Well, iDrop and Gonzo currently in 3rd place, and definitely looking like we're going to be seeing them in Belgium. So more Danish fans will be very happy tonight. And the thing about this duo is they have had some up and down moments. They've gone 3rd, 37th, and then 10th today to Carter. Can they keep the yo-yo in the air and make their way, well, solidify their place on the leaderboard? They're not probably going further, are they?
I think they can. They can hold their place for sure. I mean, their matches haven't been the best, but they've been significantly better from their matches that concluded yesterday. As a reminder, they kicked it off super strong, back-to-back 4th places, but then it was the polar opposite. Now today, I'm happy with how they're playing, honestly. I'm excited to see them qualify to Globals if they continue this pace.
And Kami and Hari, again, another team that's trying to build back into things, find some stability. Unfortunate start today with the surprise contestation, but now we are seeing them make it off spawn, mini minor, and into the end games. I just feel like there's still opportunities they need to find to pop off even more.
Oh, for sure. And I think stability is the key word, really, because, of course, they were shaken at the beginning of the day. The stability that they had from day 1 was completely knocked. And now they're slowly starting to get back into things. This is exactly what they need to do. They need to maintain their position right now, try and break into maybe that top 3, because the top 2 right now is just looking so much further ahead. And I think they're a team that can do it. I think in a lot of these sort of lobbies and a lot of day 2 of Grands, we've sort of seen it with Cringe and Twy. There are teams that haven't been in this situation before. There are teams that aren't used to being up at this stage of the leaderboard. But for a team like Hari and Kami, they are. So they'll know how to conduct themselves now. They'll know what they need to do. And it's all just about execution.
Let's take a look at page 2 and see which teams are on the cusp of qualification for the Global Championships. Remember, there are 9 spots up for grabs, and there are 9 duos in the lobby who've already qualified. Takata, big gasp from you. Why is that?
Look at the 16th through 14th. Honestly, just look at this whole page, okay? Yeah. There's 3 duos that have the exact same point range, and actually a number 16th is the current cutoff, I believe. So it is way too close for any of these duos to be comfortable in their qualification to Globals right now.
Look at that, 30 points between 20th and 11th. That's the difference in a massive amount of prize money. That's the difference between Globals and not. It's absolutely huge. And for teams like, Pink and Haris there in 18th, moving up 6 places, really nice solo clutch from Pink there at the end. That's really what makes the difference. So each and every single game here on that second page of the leaderboard, things are going to change so much. I'm really excited to see how things change and really who's got what it takes now to qualify through to Globals, because it is just that close.
There have been a couple of great length games for Pink and Haris recently. They found themselves in sticky situations with the likes of Vico and Malabuka lurking on them, biding their time in the storm, trying to get a cheeky elimination, and Pink and Haris were not giving anything up for free. Just a couple of games ago. Can they keep making it through? Because if they do, we will see them in Belgium. I'm not saying I'm biased or anything, but I'm clearly biased. We'd love to see them make it. There are so many duos currently.
Bro, I promise you on everything I love, bro. Vico and Malabuka, bro. This girl is definitely dating like Vico, bro. I seen a picture, bro. Frankie, bro. You're not beating the allegations, bro. You're not beating the allegations. Bro, no.
Being in that qualifying range, so I want to see Savage and Truly step it up this second half of day 2.
Many.
Yeah, I completely agree. Although he's pandering to all the Savage fans out there, I completely agree with
I
that. I want to see him, of
think,
course.
like,
Everyone wants to see them at
she
LAN. I
dating
want to look at
him.
the 21st. I'm looking at my.
She was wearing the jersey at the Summit LAN.
Size and scary. What's happening to
Bro,
him?
we seen
What
that
is happening?
photo.
Well, we'll find out. We've got 3 more games, so let's get back into them. It's time for game 10.
Might need Takada to give those guys a pep talk or something, Levin, if they don't start kicking it up a notch here soon enough. Not only that, but this entire lobby also really hoping that Size and Scary can make their way into that top 18 section, because it would just make it all the easier for other duos to potentially get that qualification spot.
He scares me, bruh.
Yeah, I mean, and that now really is the question, right? I think the first question we wanted to answer today is, who can beat Sky and Scroll? We don't have an answer for that one. Let's see if we can answer in our next game who will call for globals.
Oh shit, there's 2 more games left.
Of course, if you are trying to qualify, you want to start to secure yourself in one of those spots and separate yourself from the bubble, because it is quite the bubble, Taco. So many different teams in the running to take one of those spots and represent Europe. Oh my goodness, what do we have here? Ping and Ghost have contested Sky and Scroll, and we've seen them in some high stakes off-sport battles before, and it looks like this time around, Scroll will be the one to get the final elim and win things out. What a surprise that was.
But for Ping and Ghost to be the ones to try and do it, these guys must just be factoring in that they don't want to see a runaway competition. It's hard to tell, Lemon.
My head is spinning right now. I have so many questions. Why are you anywhere near here? For what? I don't know what they were cooking up.
They were trying to grief.
If you decided you want to switch up your off-spawns, things haven't been working for you, which again, it pretty much hasn't been for Ping and Ghost. Why contest Sky and Scroll? I mean, I know Summit's off-spawn didn't quite go their way, but let's take our minds back to Major 1 when they were in an off-spawn battle against Pablo and Chino, and they had the pixel-perfect drops. This isn't a team who are scrubs off-spawn by any means, and they showcased that there. Scroll does well to hold his nerve and keep their lead alive. Shark and Teeny, I'm sure they must have definitely, if they have anyone coaching them, letting them know, hey, you know, they almost went down off spawn, like, you almost had it. Let's make sure we have a good game here.
It's just certainly an interesting step to take for Ping and Ghost position. Still, fact of the matter is that late night off spawn practice definitely paying off tenfold right now for Sky and Scroll, and the fact that they were able to come out on top here. Ari and Cammy, though, they've been surprised one time already, and this time it's going to be Haris and Pink who catch them off guard over at their off spawn point, but this is a tough break.
Yeah, and Pink and Haris are one of those bubble teams, a team who a couple good games now would do enough to send them to the Global Championships, and what that would mean for Pink, I mean, it's been a long time since he has touched the land. Haris is a player as well we have not seen in such a long time, and so these are players who desperately want to make this work, and when that desperation kicks in, Tackle, you start to do anything in your power. That's where you start to whip out all of the secret strats you've been holding on to. Little tactics figured out in scrim sessions that you wanted to save for a big moment have to come out now.
For Lyrix and Maldives, they've certainly got a tall task in front of them of trying to deal with the likes of Vico and Malabuka. They're just playing, fully understanding qualification for Belgium. They've already secured that. They are our Summit champions after all, but this has definitely not been the grand performance that they would have initially intended for. That's why we see them just trying to take things up another level here. They've already got one elimination. Looking for additional pair on Lyrix and Maldives will be the first one brought down by Vico. Malabuka still looking to try and close things out, but he might get turned on if he's not careful. Lyrix dodges he might. It's going to be it out, but it's the third-party intervention here now to ultimately play spoiler. Vico and Malabuka, what it initially seemed like it'd be a lock. Axforce and Bevies have just decided, you know what? This actually looks like a comeback opportunity here. If we can find any sort of a catalyst, it's like you said, Levin, teams using every single trick left up their sleeves right now to try and put themselves in a better position to make it into that bubble, to make it in to the qualification section for Globals. And Vico tries, he might, won't be able to get away. Axforce and Bevies just get the upper hand on this one.
Yeah, and Axforce and Bevies, again, a team that has had sort of a roller coaster of a competition. Ups and downs, a couple more downs and ups, you'd have to say. But a big win in this fight. And hopefully they can snowball that into a big game here.
I know that we're seeing Medius lighting up that elimination feed for a moment. Watching iDrop and Gonzo.
I'll be back, chat. I need some water, bro.
Camp it out, though. We'll have to wait
my
and
body's
see,
dehydrated as fuck and my lips are dry as shit, chat. I'll be right back.
That are still seeking out that Globals qual spot, and I know one that everyone in the EU region would certainly love to see would be Savage and Truly. But again, today has just been so lackluster. And they've got to start and build any semblance of rhythm here between the two. Just one solid game, Levin. That is realistically all it would take for these two to get a little bit of a buffer zone here. But the desk already highlighted it. That leaderboard, 11th through 20th, when only 30 placement points are really separating that many different competitors, it just gets so dicey. You don't want to overthink it, but you also don't want to find yourself in a position where you're hesitating, and that's where Savage's experience could show up.
I think one thing we've seen in Grands over the years is there's always teams who really just struggle with the changes all across the lobby on day twos, right? Changes when it comes to your surge strategy, changes when it comes to what teams are landing around you or on you, as we've seen in some of these games. And I think so far these guys have been dealing with that the worst of a lot of the better teams we've seen today. I'd be curious to look at just a session leaderboard for just today and where they stack up on it. Can't imagine it looks too good.
Well, might get a chance to dive a little bit deeper into that later on. For right now, Sinister Strip, Sky and Scroll, they've left.
Yo, respectfully, chat, Sky and Scroll is not contesting
remember, even though they succeeded with
Peterbot
the
and Pollo for Shattered Strip, bro. The Globals. It really doesn't matter though, because
not
it's gonna be next season.
Fully in their
By the
favor
time
just
Globals,
yet. They're just kicking out some space right now, but Chino, Pablo, with this being their starting
I want to buy the
point,
next season Battle Pass though too. So
very likely they're not going to be big fans of Sky and Scroll choosing to make themselves feel at home.
Don't think it matters over there, fan of it. Not much they can do about it.
Fairs. Sometimes that's all that can be said for these teams, but one duo that has been particularly exciting, Fat and Leches. Largely just because, Levin, they've done a great job in today's competition. When we're talking about teams that haven't necessarily done the best in making those adjustments to day two, this is one that has certainly delivered so far. And with back-to-back fourth placements, it has helped them out tremendously with finding very solid footing in terms of getting that placement metric for the Belgium qualification spot. And they keep up the pace, if they can just continue replicating the success that they've already started with, they'll definitely find themselves nestling into that Belgium's battle bus in no time whatsoever. But for Cammy, Hari, Pink, and Haris, they might have just been the dagger for this duo. Dandy Puzo and Azat gonna further punish Cammy. No real ability to escape here. Hari is left off somewhere else entirely, but it is just a daunting task to sit and hide, hope that you're not seen. Just crouched around. Pink and Haris have just got him completely cut off. Just nowhere left to really run.
And the problem is he doesn't want to whip out his shotgun because it's going to make a sound cue. So he's forced to just hold the mini out until they make the play. And then he'll have to switch, and doesn't have much HP. Can't pop the mini because that's going to make sound. I don't think they know he's here. It's not an easy spot for him to get out of, yeah. Just rotating away, and that works out nicely for Hari, especially because of the storm coming in. That HP was dwindling. He desperately needed to get access to that vending machine. And so things will work out for him there.
But even if he makes another play for the reboot, even if he brings Cammy back into this one, they are going to spend so much time inside of the storm in comparison to a lot of other competitors in this lobby that storm sickness is very likely going to be an issue for them later on. And that's if they even make it to that stage, right? Actually pulling off a successful endgame performance from the cards that they've been dealt in game number 10. It's going to be very rough as Teeny Shark, one more time, getting a little bit more damage than what they were actually able to dish out. But that's not to say that they haven't been able to do their part.
Yeah, that last game, I think, was a real pivotal moment. That final 2v2, I think, is one that will be remembered in EU FNCS history for many years to come. Because that really felt like the turning moment. If you're Teeny and Shark, you have your global spot solidified. All that matters to you is trying to get this first FNCS championship. Teeny has come so close many times before. Shark needs that chip. The validation that his talent can amount to wins and success. But to lose that 2v2 and lose the game, it's so symbolic to just how dominant Sky and Skrull are.
They're just not leaving any sort of room for error. But it could also be a bit of a motivational factor here for Shark and Teeny. If they're still able to somehow, some way catch up and potentially overtake Sky and Skrull, that would definitely, it would just say so much in terms of what they're able to actually do on the biggest stages. But for Sky and Skrull right now, ball's in their court. They haven't really feel any sort of pressure outside of that initial off spawn.
And we're in, the double-digit games now, right? And with this type of a lead, you've got to think, another big game here, and if Shark and Teeny can't deliver a big game to match them, that's really where you have to start saying sayonara and allow them to waltz into the sunset. But hopefully that doesn't happen, because we like some drama. We like to be kept on our toes. There is still plenty of drama though, because so many of these teams in positions to qualify for globals. Velo and Zynox currently one of those teams in a position to qualify. But one of those teams who, again, if they don't fix up in these last 2 games, or 3 games, including this one, obviously, then they could very easily fall out of that position, Taco, and be watching the Global Championships just like the rest of us.
And it's always easier said than done, right? You would think that it's just going to be a done deal when you've already found yourself overcoming a lot of those troubles in day one and then a whole new slew of them just being introduced on day two. But Chino, Pablo, might be getting a little bit active here. Sky and Scroll now feeling some pressure, currently underneath Surge threshold, but not by much. Still, if they are going to take an engagement, Pablo and Chino might just be one of the worst teams they could be having to match up against, because we know just how potent they are as fighters. And not only that, but if they feel like they've got any signs of weakness out of Sky and Scroll in that box fight, you'd expect that they're going to continue trying to press that issue and ensure they find an overall win. So Sky, Scroll, they're trying to see if they can get their damage elsewhere first. They're gonna look to get some shots in at some of these teams that are trickling in from the edge of zone. Surge just continues.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. This was me and Matthew, like, all at our end days, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Bro, we were so in shambles. We were so fucking cooked. We were fried. We were deep fried, sauteed, fucking cooked, bro. Like, shit was so bad, bro. And then me and Matthew played scrims. We kept getting, like, absolutely fucking shit on. We got practice, though, yesterday. Yesterday was good practice. We finally managed to get on the first page, which you got 90. We got 90th, which is not good, but it's also not bad for us either, because we're trying to get better at what we're doing. Holy shit. Oh, it's
He's himself too exposed.
Oh,
and that puts Sky even further down below now. And you've got to think this is going to be the end of the road here in game number 10 for Sky and Scroll. They are human.
It's crazy to think that even gods can bleed at times after all, but Sky and Scroll now will have to sit and wait to see how Shark and Teeny actually fare. And with that elimination onto Cammy, we know what kind of struggles Cammy's been dealing with.
And the implications of this now are huge, because obviously this game started off with the shock,
but yeah,
surprise contestation.
Like, we got some practice
from
in, we got 90th, and today we're gonna go for like,
even when they win,
I'm gonna say we're gonna go for like 70,
like
60. As long as we get a win and during scrims, that's really big for us, because we're still trying to learn how to, you know, have good rotates during scrims, how to play end game, how to keep Surge up.
There's even more of an opportunity for
we're not always gonna have Surge like all the way up, you know what I mean? But like,
what if it's not just Ping and Ghost?
We gotta get better at fighting and stuff like that, so we're always above Surge, you know what I mean?
Because we know that Ping and Ghost are willing to take that chance, but other duos, maybe even some of our leading contenders, now potentially wondering if that might be an option that steadily opened itself up to them. Still Savage and Truly scoping back in the grand scheme of things for lobby number 10. A very awkward position right now. Almost 200 underneath that Surge entirely, and not only that, but practically fully out of any sort of utility. Savage will use the last of his Chug Jug. They're gonna have to rotate eventually, Levin, and they're gonna be rotating directly in so many different duos' line of sights. That's why they're trying to get the damage before they make their way across, and they have managed to just catapult themselves over now, 196 above, but still in such grim circumstances. And they're not the only ones. Pink also struggling currently, despite starting off with that off-spawn surprise. It hasn't actually netted them any favors in the long run here. And now Truly Savage still looking to see if they can have some form of a breakthrough, but Yanis and Rax, they're the ones who are actually desperately in need of another fight. Surge does manage to tick in their favor, but it works against Savage and Truly at the exact same time.
Yeah, and this really puts them in a bad position moving forward. I mean, not only the need for the extra damage, of course, just 4 players needing to drop, but a lack of materials, a lack of shields, and the poor timing ultimately is a recipe for failure. Shark and Teeny will continue their trek towards catching up to Sky and Scroll. And now there is hope for them in this game.
They've got decent builds too. Every little bit of damage. It's largely going to be the elimination points that I think these two are after. Unfortunately, Shark blocked there momentarily on the rotate, but won't deter them too heavily. Pixofsky and Saren also trying to do what
Bro,
they can
he's
just to
11
keep their
HP.
heads above water. They don't want to sink just yet, but Pixofsky forced to drop as a solo. He'll have no other options but to try and get a little bit of surprise play, crouching around some of these lower layers. Truly very similar category. Just hoping that he can get the opening shot he needs.
Bro, genuinely, no matter what these niggas
Depending
do, they're gonna die.
exclusively on a refresh
Like-
here is just such a fickle position to be in. And working in also from the backside of the zone, you know that there's going to be so many pre-established teams lying in front of you. Somehow, some way though, neither Truly or Pixofsky has encountered anyone just yet. No one looking down, but that could change. Couple seconds here. Sure enough though, Truly able to create just a little bit more space. Hasn't run out of materials entirely just yet. Same sort of circumstances too for Pixofsky. We are watching two separate solos just doing everything in their power to squeeze out every little bit of placement, but Truly scouted it out. It's a healthy duo right next to him. He'll have to get a move on, overdrive forward. Doesn't care where it sends him as long as it's away from those two. He can keep this
Focus,
one rolling
Thomas.
forward.
You can see in the rest of the lobby, many of our global championships qualified teams having a bit of fun, finally finding their groove in this lobby and strutting their stuff. Thomas and Focus, it's been some time since we've seen them on height. But finally, another opportunity for this duo to continue to cement themselves high up in the standings, while down below, so many more of our talented duos fight for a chance to compete in Antwerp. Teeny and Shark drop down and looking very weak. Taco,
Holy
not many
shit, Chad. I'm
options, so they're gonna have to
cold
get
as
to
the
work with their
motherfucker.
shotguns.
Like,
Not only that, but they're also trying to evade high ground, but just like that, Teeny finds Mindro a little bit too preoccupied with what was directly in front of him. That is a big opener for Shark and Teeny. That's Siphon helping out Teeny tremendously here, but even still, Shark incredibly weak, still trying to break through. The Woodbills just making it through in the nick of time, but with Shark just on his last legs here, they're gonna have to try and convert yet another elimination, but it's Shark who gets brought down. Darkos and Minori a bit too healthy to contend with here, and they know they've got a body rolling around behind them. Whether or not Teeny's gonna let
Like,
them actually
holy
get to it
shit,
though,
I'm fucking,
it's another
like-
conversation entirely, because they're trying to just match pace with the rest of the lobby. They're trying to stick towards frontside, and Teeny has managed to stay one layer above, but still, Levin, he needs so much more to try and pull out a strong placement.
And Teeny has been the key to this duo's success. And one more time, he takes up the mantle to try and clutch up Solo. Gets dropped down as Dom looks to do the same for his duo. Plenty of materials to just keep him ticking in this game that much longer. But there will be duos hunting and fighting for him. He doesn't mind though. Twek will jump into his box and he will handle it swiftly. Chap with 8 now. He's really trying to fight for a position to qualify. None of these teams, none of these players want to let this slip.
Crazy though, just how many solos are actually left over here. Chap with another one onto Minori. Can he get the Siphon? No! Darko's gonna shut that one down and pay the ultimate price. He's been eliminated, but Izzy Nosip, one of the few lobby teams, actually as a duo still trying to contend up against the likes of Darm, who's gonna get Nosip in the process. Focus now dropping Agent of Chaos. He wants to confirm this victory royale for himself and Thomas. They've been needing a big bounce back game here on day 2, and they might just be able to find it. Focus, Thomas still skirting around, just waiting. Both of them so limited on materials in comparison to Darm. He might actually have the firepower to do this, but the shots overhead from Thomas are going to get the job done. Darm is just so incredibly weak. He won't have an opportunity to heal, not with 2 separate players aggressing on his floors just like this. And Thomas' focus incredibly low, but it doesn't matter. Thomas will make sure to cement a victory royale in their favor.
that's actually so
Dom
crazy, bro.
did
What
his
even is that?
absolute best, but Thomas and Focus from above, dropping down below, will get their second win of the competition.
Thank you so much, guys. Focus and Thomas, they've been pretty dependable in the lobby so far, but it's great to see them pop up and get a second victory royale. Mini Miner.
Yeah, great to see. I mean, they just need a zone, you know? It's like, there's finally, they get a south zone, sort of. They've only had a couple this weekend, and finally they've actually made it work right there. Taking high, only a couple of eliminations as well, but it's exactly what this team needs. Should be boosting them up in the standings as well, because they weren't even sort of that far down to Carter going into that game, so it's going to do them a world of good, and their confidence a world of good as well.
Yeah, they've actually done quite well today. Yesterday, they ended
Nah,
in
go
15th
watch that.
place,
This
and I
shit
think they're
goes
7th place
crazy.
going into this last match. So after that win, they're going to be jumping up even higher. They got eliminations, 8 eliminations in the game before this, and as we saw this time around, they weren't as frag heavy, but they still got the VR, which is more than enough.
Bro, I mean,
so
like,
I'm honestly very happy to see this.
at least they still got it,
They
though.
took high there as well, taking down
They still
Swizzy
got
and
that
Pixie,
shit,
and I think
though,
they
hey.
benefited from the fact that, of course, Shark and Teeny went down a lot earlier in that game. They were a little bit scuffed. Of course, Sky and Scroll down a lot earlier than expected in that game as well, but they needed to step up and take the plate right there, which they did, of course, as well. And I think, again, it's just been a bit of a what could have been grand finals from Thomas HD. It's like, yeah, we talk about zones, but even
Hell
still, it's
yeah,
like,
hell
this has
yeah,
happened
hell
last season,
yeah.
it's happened last major.
Yo,
and
Thomas
they couldn't quite make it
HD,
happen. So it's
Morgan,
like,
bro,
I
he's
really wanted to
Morgan.
see a lot more from these guys, which they can still give us here in these last 2 games, but they've just shown how much they've got in the tank in that last game.
Well,
Bro,
it was
they're
a
over here
shocker for
mogging,
our
bro.
top
What is
2 duos. So we're talking about what happened to Sky and Scroll and Shark and Teeny after the break.
Bro, they're over here mogging, bro. They're mogging chat.
New FanDuel Casino players get 500 bonus spins and $50 in casino bonus, which means more spins on Love Island Unlocked. So couple up with a date night boost, because thrill time is bonus time on FanDuel Casino.
Dry eye still gritty, scratchy, and tired? With MyBo, eyes can feel. MyBo is the only prescription dry eye drop that directly targets too much tear evaporation by forming a protective layer. Don't use if allergic to MyBo. Remove contacts before using. Wait at least 30 minutes before putting them back in. Eye redness and blurred vision may occur. Ask your eye doctor about MyBo.
There you go.
Once you get a taste for something different, different is all you'll live for. Trident. Try different with lots of cool flavors.
Searching for something fun? The Subaru Crosstrek is Consumer Reports' top subcompact SUV, and Subaru is Consumer Reports' 2026 best overall automotive brand, the Subaru Crosstrek and Crosstrek Hybrid.
I suddenly realized that I was no longer driving conscious, and I was in a different dimension. Just going.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Applebee's 2 for $25 is taking your taste buds on a trip. With one full-size appetizer like the new Bacon Cheeseburger Wonton Tacos. And 2 entrees for only $25. Only at Applebee's.
For 25 years, they've pushed buttons,
Hey, you stop laughing right now.
pushed limits,
Give me a liter of cola.
and pushed their luck.
You boys like Mexico!
But it's never too late to push things a little farther.
Oh!
This Friday, comedy makes a comeback.
This guy's actually kind of cute.
Super Troopers 3, rated R, Friday.
we saw versus Ping and Ghost, and we'll talk about what happened afterwards, because Takata talked me through this.
It was scary. It got me nervous. I was not fully expecting this, but in the back of my mind, I kind of was. Okay, the issue is, from this off spawn, they did come out on top. Shark and Teeny didn't get a big game, so it hasn't changed too much, but Mini, I am scared for what's to come.
Well, that's the thing. These guys got contested off spawn. Of course, all that off spawn practice last night would have paid off for them. Not that they necessarily need it. They're so good off spawn anyway. But really weird, actually, because they went down then, of course, what was it, like 30 seconds, something like that, to Surge, which we haven't seen them but get hit by Surge at all throughout this entire weekend until that very last game. And the reason that's confusing is, like, you got all that damage off spawn. You, of course, won the off spawn battle. Why not just play exactly the same way with that extra bonus of Surge? Not too sure exactly what went wrong for them, but they just couldn't handle it. So the first real time that, even though they had a bad game yesterday, the first time when they've had a really bad game in this entire weekend.
Mini, is that just like a net Surge issue with one of them going down?
Potentially a net Surge issue, potentially the fact the zone was really far, of course, as well, set them back a little bit from their early game. They couldn't quite loot as quickly as they would, but a little bit concerning for them because, of course, they did win that off spawn. It did throw them off massively throughout the rest of the game, potentially as well. So a little bit concerning for these guys, but of course, it's Sky Scroll.
Yeah, it was an 8-point game for Sky and Scroll. Yesterday, their lowest game was 19th. Today, 32nd. Shark and Teeny, this was a massive opportunity for them to potentially take the lead for the first time. Instead, they had to settle for just outside the top 10 mini minor. If I was them, I'd be kicking myself.
Ah, such an opportunity missed, realistically. They needed another one of those big games, which is exactly what they've been having all day. It's their first bad game of the day, realistically, as well. And there was a couple of moments here. They were looking for a lot of that damage. They found it. Things were looking okay. They needed a refresh. Then Teeny got it to Carter, had that chug jug as well. I think it was sort of one of these moments here when they needed that refresh. And they just about almost did enough. And it was this one right here, wasn't it, where they got that elimination. Everything was looking great. You think this is the catalyst for their game. And it almost started to crumble from here. They were late to every rotate, couldn't get the health. Shark went down here and it all sort of fall apart.
Yeah, it wasn't even a terrible match. Like 11th place with 5 eliminations. That's a pretty good match, but they needed it to be a very big one. As you can see, the gap from first to second is still quite strong.
Is it odd, though, that Teeny left Shark behind there rather than trying to help him out with a heal there?
No, I mean, they were both on the wall. It was just a bit of unfortunate events prior to that kind of led to them going down.
Well, we can see that after that victory royale, Focus and Thomas have climbed up to 3rd place. And if we take a look, Dom and Demas, after that monster game from Darn, they have gone into the top 10, I think for the first time this weekend, because they were nearly out of the top 20 before the game mini minor. Fantastic performance from the sim game leader.
Yeah, really a struggle yesterday, I suppose, in those sort of off-spawn battles. They had a few really bad games. Today, they've really started to come alive again as well. And it seems to me it's very similar to sort of the Pablo Chino situation, where when they do make it to these end games, they're looking so strong. Dom here, unbelievable solo clutch himself, getting all these incredible frags, getting 2nd place there at the end. But it's like, imagine if these guys could make it consistently as well to the end game. You never know what could happen.
Oh my god, yeah, I was looking at the leaderboard and I was like, oh, they had 9 eliminations. Okay, no, Darn had 9 eliminations. Looking like he completely woke up. If he had more HP and shield, maybe the 1v2 could have been completed, but either way, happy for Thomas and Focus for taking that game home.
I think that Dom and Demas are very much about confidence, and I think they need those big moments in order to gain that momentum and carry that forward. And I think having seen Dom do that, and to do that as a solo for a considerable amount of time, to pick up all those eliminations, I think that's going to be really motivating them going to the next 2 games. So let's keep our eyes on them. Let's take a look at the 2nd page, because we have so many duos who've already qualified within the top 18. It's only Size and Scary who are currently outside of it, which means for all the duos on this page, mini minor, it's very exciting. I mean, Savage and Truly, they're currently on the line for qualification just outside it right now. And Chap and Flixie, they have already qualified, but it's great to see them having a resurgence in their performance.
Yeah, I remember we looked at the 2nd page going into the last game, and it was only a 30-point difference between 11th and 20th. Now that's more like 90-point difference, which is absolutely crazy to see when you look at the difference in it now. So that gap is widening between this page of the leaderboard. So it's even more important now for the teams like Mr. Savage and Truly, for teams like Cringe and Volker, who are just outside of it, to really now make the most of these last 2 games. Because if they want want to find themselves at the globals, this is when it really counts here for them.
Very quickly, guys, can I ask you about Vico Malabuka? Because this is our reigning Summit Championship duo, and yet we're not really seeing that concrete of a game plan from them, I feel like, Takata. We're seeing them jumping all over the lobby, just trying to find their footing and not really finding what they need to get the job done.
Early game struggles is what we're seeing in the most recent matches. 45th, 42nd. Yesterday, they were getting closer to the end games, but overall this weekend, it's not really what we would expect from, being Summit champions.
Well, you know what? We know they come alive on LAN, and we know that they've already qualified for the Global Championships, but not all of our duos tonight have. So these 2 games that are coming up mean everything. Let's get into game 11.
Who is it gonna be securing their spot at the Global Championships, representing themselves, representing Europe against the rest of the world, Taco?
Well, one thing's for sure, Liv. I wanted to actually address the elephant in the room because we saw Sky Scroll get contested off spawn, and those guys they're definitely leading the charge in terms of leaderboard, but there are just so many teams that could potentially look to try and switch that up, maybe help out Sharkatini. Hard to say, but I know one thing's for sure. Game 11 underway.
Once more, we will have our eyes peeled here at Frosted Flats. Will Sky and Scroll be gliding in alone, or will there be other duos here to spoil the party?
What's good, Shitty? I'm back.
Sky, we see Scroll, we see Ping, we see Ghost, and there's even more names added to the party this time around,
They're running
Taco.
this shit back.
It's just very interesting strategies from these teams that are not near that section of the leaderboard for consistency, but finding it out amongst each other now. In fact, might have even been able to give a helping hand for Sky and Scroll.
It's actually so
2 separate
crazy. Like,
duos
what is
with
that?
very early departures. Sky, 2 eliminations, and a little bit of surge damage, only this time they didn't have to take any in return.
Yeah, and so now we might get to see the opposite of what this off-spawn can look like for them, where it spirals into a very successful game. They will deal with the off-spawn disturbance swiftly. And unfortunately for those 2 teams, not much they can do to affect our Major 1 champs. Both of those teams in the bottom half of the leaderboard, 46th and 47th respectively. And more than likely now, no chance of qualifying for the Global Championships. Across the lobby, we see a lot of our different teams who still are within a shot when it comes to qualifying for the Global Championship. Of course, the biggest fan favorite, Mr. Savage, the one everybody wants to see make it. And here in Game 11, starts off as a solo, needing to pick Truly back up.
That's the problem, right? Bimbo and Radeon just having Savage on the run currently. He's going to have to spend so much more time just hiding out before he can realistically try and go for any sort of reboot options. And that setback, when today has just been a series of setbacks for Savage and Truly. It started off the day around that 10th place position on the leaderboard, and with every single match that goes by, find themselves sinking 1, 2 placements ever lower. Meanwhile, competition like Pink and Haris trying to do what they can. They've had some fluctuations, but still ultimately find themselves just on the cusp. They need big performances here. And an early game, surprise, off-spawn contention aside, even if that goes your way, there's just so much more of the game left to play and contend with, and that's really where a lot of the issues have been popping up for these teams, because Surge has just been all over the place for a lot of these duos.
Yeah, it's been a very difficult final for plenty of these teams, but plenty of lessons to be taken moving forward. It's been weird because I think obviously where our focus is on the excellence and the honestly, just unbelievable levels of consistency from Sky and Scroll. A lot of these different teams have showed in here, games here and there that they still have plenty to offer when it comes to competing with the best of them in EU. But the reality is, as long as Sky and Scroll exist, you're gonna have to be able to do it consistently if you have any hope. Rax and Janice sitting 14th coming into this game, and they're a duo that many will be hoping can do enough just to hold on and get the job done.
It's been promising at times for Rax and Yanis, but obviously Yanis sort of investing into Fortnite future here alongside of Rax, and they're trying to gauge whether or not they can continue just building up on their current placement.
And Janice is someone who has obviously a very storied past. One of the all-time greats here in the EU, many different FNCS championships in multiple modes. One of the few players to win in trios, duos, and a solo. But also a player who is known for his ability to pick out some of the best talents many people might have forgotten. Janice was one of the first people to really give Pixius opportunity to showcase what he could do at LAN. And now looking to do the same here for the young, talented Rax.
This is getting weird now at Frosted Flats. Shark and Teeny have gone a long ways from Calamari Canyon, but first we'll have to deal with Godoy and Polo. Teeny, Shark tag team effort has led to one elimination so far, but Sky and Scroll not too far away. Shark trying to see if he can still be hot in pursuit here to take down Polo. They want to make sure that they have a clear avenue of approach when trying to deal with the likes of Sky and Scroll. But the fact of the matter is, if they were sneaking about here trying to get a surprise play off on Sky and Scroll, Goihoy and Polo have completely ruined it. Sky and Scroll definitely going to be on red alert here. And I was going to ask you earlier on when we first checked in with Shark and Teeny, Levin, was it a missed opportunity for these two to not initially go for that immediate off-spawn fight? But seems like that question's been answered because they've opted to still take the matter into their own hands. They are diving in against Scroll. And Shark trying to be one of the first back into the box here. Scroll just so weak, he needs some backup, but Sky a little bit stuck here. They're trying to work their way up, but Scroll, he's gonna need some help here.
This is monumental. Shark and Teeny, they lost in the final 2v2 a couple games ago, and they've decided they don't want to lose anymore. They're taking the fight to Sky and Scroll, and they know it's them. You can't miss them. This base at Frosted Flats is a big sign, a big flag to say, hey, it's us. And Shark and Teeny, they know they can't maybe play as perfect Fortnite as Sky and Scroll do, but what they certainly can is beat them in a 2v2 box fight, and that is where the urgency comes from. Sky and Scroll will look to create some space, and they'll look to separate, stop a fight from breaking out. But even if Teeny and Shark don't quite get the damage, don't quite get the limbs tackle, you could argue the damage has maybe been done. Think about all the materials Sky and Scroll have had to invest in this one to stay up. Think about the timing and the opportunity lost when it comes to surge damage. This right here could just be enough to rock the boat and give Shark and Teeny that opening that they need.
Also thinking about how many times have we seen Sky and Scroll just already rotated into the perfect position when we approach those endgame circumstances, but with Shark and Teeny here, that's just not going to be an option. They are going to have to deal with these two one way or another, and the conclusion might not be one that they're hoping for, but for Shark and Teeny, they know exactly what is at stake. This would be the game to turn things around. If they are able to convert this fight into a pair of eliminations on Sky and Scroll, and then potentially even look for a solid endgame performance. They're going to need the victory roll after the fact. It starts with taking out Sky and Skrull. It continues with Shark and Teeny, then having to contend with the rest of the lobby.
In Major 1, Chino and Pablo chose game number 11 as their opportunity to strike. And here in Major 2, Shark and Teeny do the same. They realize that they need the extra game buffer to give themselves the best chance. But it's not going to be easy. Sky and Skrull never make things easy. And so the stalemate will continue. Will they get impatient and leave? Or will somebody make a mistake that costs their duo an FNCS title?
This is really starting to look like a battle of attrition, though. When you think about it, Sky, Skrull, they haven't necessarily had the time that they would have preferred to really farm up the material count, and it's the same position for Shark and Teeny because they had to get a move on. They had to hustle to be in this position in the first place to challenge Sky and Skrull. And now the rest of the lobby also closing in. More teams being drawn to this position because of the way that the zone is pooling. Frosted Flats smack dab in the center of it all. Sky, Skrull, they want to separate, but Shark and Teeny, they don't want to permit. And instead, it's going to be Shark and Teeny creating a little bit more distance than what they bargained for. Potentially even Teeny trying to go for a bit of a fake out here. Because now he's going to reunite one more time alongside Shark and just continue to try and hold out, try and find the opening angles that will net them an advantage against the likes of Sky and Skrull. These two,
in the middle of the
realize
night.
it's not going to be an option.
Bro,
what great overdrive made
it's so
from
fucking
Skrull.
cooked, bro. He has like
Completely
no builds,
fakes Teeny out. And they take enough damage to where they realize if there's any hope for them in this game, they need to dip out and recover this game.
Hey, bro, they have 12 builds.
Again, when we talk about
it's so over.
Sky and Skrull doing things and playing things perfectly, that was the best play they could have made. Psychologically, it just puts the pressure once again on Shark and Teeny, and now their game is spiraling out of control. The investment has not paid its dividends. Shark and Teeny now on bare bones. And what was a play that was started with the intentioning of ending the run of Sky and Skrull might just be what ends the run of Teeny and Shark here.
To make matters worse still, it's Godoy and Polo of all
This shit
teams
is so
that are
sickening,
now
bro. I know
circling
he's so
back.
fucking like.
We
mad
saw
right now,
what Shark and Teeny had
This-
started with
that
those
shit
two.
is
They
so
had
sick,
forced
bro.
Godoy out of the vicinity, and yet now they're a little bit stuck in the thick of it.
That
They're
shit
not
is
really
so
able to
sick.
find
Like,
a way to squeeze
that is
themselves out
so
of here, and
crazy.
they
What
need
is that?
material
Man,
desperately.
this
It
nigga
might
always
even be a
getting
fight that
tagged,
they're
bro.
forced to take, despite being on fumes here. The options are just so limited
It
right
is
now
so
in comparison
sick.
to Sky and Skrull, who have just managed to evade all of that chaos because of holding off Shark and Teeny for as long as they did. You have to respect the gall there, though, from Shark and Teeny, though. They made the attempt.
Absolutely, props to them. At every opportunity, Tackle, we've tried to almost write them off and say, look, Sky and Skrull have got the win. FNCS is over. Let's focus on the global qualified teams. Shark and Teeny say, no, we ain't done fighting. And even if it hasn't paid off, like you said, you have to give them props for the attempt. And one thing I think we can probably say with some confidence is that they won't just go down and roll over. They will keep kicking and keep making a fuss until Sky and Skrull are forced to do something about it. But things now cooling off between the two, Teeny and Shark. When you take away the plays that they made and the context of them trying to take down the team in their way for an FNCS, when you take that all away and just look at their situation right now in this game, Taco, it looks horrible. 3 builds for Teeny, not much more for Shark, and way down below on Surge.
Their loadouts just look like a duo that has been playing reboot after reboot so far in Game 11, and yet that's just not the case. But ultimately, Shark and Teeny Still hard to rule them out. We know just how quickly they can turn a fight into their favor. But for Sky and Skrull, potentially even looking on for some of the action that's about to ensue here. Sharktini, their tourney standings on the line here. If they go down before placement really even begins to factor in,
Oh,
Sky
it's so
and
fucking
Skrull
over.
are going to
They're
be left largely
227.
uncontested.
Oh,
They
yeah, it's over.
very
Yeah,
likely just
GG.
seeing themselves as tournament
No,
winners here,
GG,
but
bro, it's
Sharktini
over.
desperately
Yo,
trying
Sky
to
and
see
Skrull,
whether or not
new,
they can bring down Pixie,
new EU
Swizzy,
champs, bro.
both of them just narrowly managing to
That
skirt
shit,
around,
it's
but
fucking
they run
over, bro.
directly into where Dinas is at, and now
over.
Teeny
Yeah, look
Shark
at this
trying to
shit,
come
bro. It's so
alive here,
over.
but they found themselves a bit pincered now. Teeny has fallen, Surge ticking away at what HP is left here, and
They're
Shark
519
forced to fall
below,
back,
bro.
but 519 below.
Yeah,
There's only so much left to
GGs.
be done in this type of circumstance, and for Shark,
538.
it's just too tall.
Nigga, yeah, it's
of a
over, bro.
task,
You can't
too
even get.
big
You gotta get
of an
like
ask
5
even
eliminations just to get rid
for
of all
him to
that
seriously
shit.
try and overcome it. Damage options.
Then you would have to get like
just
less.
drawing further and further away from him. Swizzy and
It's over,
Pixie,
he's
they
dead,
managed
bro.
to evade Shark and Teeny, but for Sky and Skrull, there is no one left in sight to catch them.
That's so fucked.
Wow.
That's
the game's
so
not even
fucked.
done, Taco, but what a game so far. I mean, this is what it's all about. Sky and Skrull now have the opportunity to really try and shut Shark and Teeny up for goods. I think the funny thing about this game becomes no matter what Sky and Skrull do here, they have to know. Next game, Frosted Flat is not safe. No, they better have someone prepping another drop spot for them for the final game. They should not go anywhere near that spot. But let's see what they cook up here in game number 11. Let's see if they can add to their lead and mitigate any potential game 12 off-spawn shenanigans. Of course, they also have had quite a tough time trying to make up for the lost time after that Shark and Teeny stalemate, but they've done a better job of recovering the game here, Taco.
And, you know, for as heartbreaking as that defeat was for Sky and Skrull at Summit, can't help but think that that might have just been the missing piece for those two. The level up that they have experienced from having been in that type of position and now realizing just how they can match up to the pressure here in the Major 2 Grand Finals. But there are other teams still looking for other prizes, one of them being that Global's position. And for Truly and Savage, they have really had to try and dig their way out of the trenches here right now. Bimbo and Radion just hounding them for the most part, but Savage and Truly still getting just enough damage done, but they're going to need so much more than that. They want to stay in contention. 73 below now. Savage forced to pause, forced to utilize some of their healing resources. Got to get his shield back up to a level where he won't be immediately dropped on their next rotation, but Truly knows their options are so limited. They try to catch off guard Cammy and Hardy, but it's going to be no use. Cammy, Hardy immediately separate, and now Truly desperately trying to find any form of damage. Savage has already fallen,
179
and
fucking
Truly,
below, bro.
he has to get an elimination.
Yo, Storm Surge gotta be the dumbest shit of all time.
Truly. He's done so well as a solo throughout this season. But unfortunately,
is that?
His end.
That shit is,
And that puts so
Storm
much
Surge
pressure on
is
that
so
final
cringe,
game
bro.
now for that duo. But there are plenty other duos in a similar boat. Pink and Haris. They will not be fearful as they have such a big opportunity in this final game, or these final 2 games here, to make something happen. Jewel needs to do his best because he currently sits in a global spot and he doesn't want to jeopardize that. As a solo, can't make it work.
Forcefully ejected from the lobby, but still has game 12 to work with to try and defend that position on the leaderboard. Velo and Zynox, another team in a similar position. Only they are running very low on their build count. We saw Rax and Yanis just moments ago holding down a little bit of a low ground position. Now they've gone all the way up. Big point of elevation here. Solid material counts too. The loadouts definitely looking fairly healthy in comparison to a lot of the other teams that we've hovered over. But for Sky and Scroll, every single time they secure an elimination, Shark and Teeny, you'd imagine their stomachs just gutted feelings because they are only continuing to create an even bigger gap. They are looking for being the back-to-back Axe of Champion wielders, and they might just do it depending on how this Game 11 plays out for them. For right here, right now, Cringe, Volko doing everything they can to keep just breaking through some of these more congested areas. Venus and Fnatic, they won't be able to overcome the wall that is Sky and Scroll. That is dropped by Nathan. And even as a solo, it doesn't make a difference because every single one of these players looking for that separating moment that give them every single bit of placement points, every single bit of elimination points. Velo and Zynox diving right in, but bit off a little bit more than they could chew here. Wi-Fi and Boris were ready to punch back.
Yeah, that leaves Velo in such a tough spot. With all the focus on the first and how impressive they've been, so many of our teams fighting for globals, having struggles, and so many of those teams in the bubble might just be able to make it first as we go into this final game. Here in this end game though, Sky and Scroll are still looking for that win condition. They want to add to the tally. They want to make it another win.
And they've
Bro, I'm
already got
getting
that
up for
front
this, bro.
side
Wait,
low
wait.
control. Raxianis.
Yo, cause what the
It
fuck?
might
What is
be
going, bro?
in a
So much
position
shit
where
just
they're gonna look
happened
to
all
drop
at one
again,
time,
but where
bro.
we last saw Sky and Scroll at, and the way that this elevation has shifted, they are just looking to pick apart any sort of stragglers that come anywhere near their turf here. Svelo still trying to do what he can to wrap around. Has gone unsighted for the time being, but Sky
Oh yeah, it's
and
so
Scroll,
fucking over, bro.
it feels
They're
like they
about
might
to win
be
this
doing
game.
the victory lap early here in Game 11.
GG's. Yo, y'all might as well end this shit now, bro.
Onto Yanis, 4 already. Ample amounts of material now being picked up here. The medkits going to certainly help out aplenty. Is Sky Scroll now looking to try and reunite Velo, Tango, Wing, and Boris and Wi-Fi, but they'll find yet another elimination there.
It's so
Sky
cooked.
and Scroll though looking back. Hari, Cammy trying to make a resurgence. Today has not been theirs for the taking, but they're still looking to see whether or
Oh
not
yeah.
Game 11 could possibly go in their
It's so
favor.
fucking over, bro.
How do they keep doing it?
It's
Scroll
so
should have been
over.
taken
What
out
is this?
ages ago, but it leaves Sky as a solo to continue to add points to the tally. And he has done it so many times here in this major for this duo. Whether it's major 1, Sky clutching up, major 2, Sky will do it again. So many valuable points on the board. But for Hutty and Fishy, this is a much needed opportunity at a win. But they have to be careful because Hari will never make it easy. The Storm will get the job done. Hutty and Fishy take game
That
number
shit's
11.
so crazy, bro.
It's
What
a
is
duo
that?
that we haven't had much opportunity to talk about throughout the course of this weekend so far, but coming alive in the final hour. Better late than never after all. Wouldn't you say, Frankie?
Absolutely. Better late than never, but will it make much of a dent in the leaderboard? I am not so sure, but congratulations to Hutty and Fishy for claiming that victory royale. However, we have to admit that all eyes were on the low ground because we wanted to see if Sky and Scroll could do it yet again. They could have had a catastrophic early game, but they managed to come through again. We'll be talking in detail about their game after the break. But before then, let's talk about Hutty and Fishy. Takata,
Bro, yeah,
this is a team that's had
GGs, bro.
many lows this weekend, so it's
Like, bro, I know I can catch up for this one, bro. I'm only 33%, bro, and like genuinely. And it's fucking this nigga got what, Queasy, Moneymaker, Okish. Yeah, bro, like what is this? Like how the fuck is he doing better than me when I have like literally the best players in the world, bro? Make that shit make sense.
That we were sort of teeing up. It's like no more Sharkantini. Now the sky's the limit, and unfortunately, the sky was quite low for these guys over the course of the weekend. Just hasn't quite been their time. Hutty, after yesterday, posted on socials. He just said, "Count me out." So he wasn't feeling confident after yesterday, but it's actually nice to see that confidence maybe being instilled in them. I'm interested to see actually where it puts them on the leaderboard. Of course, you know, their goal, of course, would be to qualify for the Global Championships. Maybe they need another big game like this in the very last one to actually make that happen. But they've given themselves the hope, which is the most important thing. They've given themselves something to latch onto here in this last game, because without that game, things were looking very dire indeed for them this weekend.
There's the FNCS Global's Last Chance qualifier that's coming up on August 14th. For any duos who have counted themselves out, they don't have to count themselves out of Globals yet, but we'll be talking about who looks likely to make it to Belgium after the break.
Life changes quickly. You may be doing everything you can to prevent pregnancy today, or meet the one tomorrow and decide to start a family. With the Natural Cycles temperature-based birth control app, it's easy to go with the flow. From preventing pregnancy to planning for one, Natural Cycles is here to support your unique fertility journey. Visit naturalcycles.com to learn more.
Introducing new Advanced Series all-in-one insoles, our most advanced insole design. Immediate and all-day pain relief for 10 lower body points. These insoles are ready to use and built to last. Available on Amazon.
Milk can help you grow. Milk can't prevent your ride from blasting into space.
I always say that Game 11 is really the moment that the competition shifts. We confirm a champion or we see the unexpected happen, and we basically saw both potentially in Game 11, Takata. The question now is, can anything go wrong for Sky and Scroll?
It's tough to say. It is very tough to say. If we look at the standings, look, Mini, I know you like put numbers together. What would Sharkantini actually have to do to overthrow Sky and Scroll here?
Well, all they need is for Sky and Scroll to go down or spawn and get 0 points, right?
Okay.
And then get a 30 elim win.
That's not bad, right? Wait, what's the record again? In like ever?
No, never.
What's the elim record in a grand finals? Do you know that?
16, I think, something like that.
Double the record of the current grand finals eliminations of an FNCS.
Yep.
And Sky and Scroll have to go down off spawn. Okay.
Yep.
We did see 2 duos
How-
landing near Sky and Scroll off spawn this time. Obviously, it's Sky and Scroll, so they came out of it unscathed to Carter. But things
I'm
could
about to hop
happen
in the
game
shower
12, you
after
never
this
know.
chat. And then
You
we're
broke
gonna
it down.
grind
It
Fortnite
is
while my duo's gone
mathematically
because
possible. It's not gonna be
he's
easy, but
fucking
it is
dog shit.
possible. But huge round of
And
applause
we're gonna
to Sky and
wait
Scroll. They have been
for,
playing out
5
of their
o'clock.
minds. They won Major 1. Tragic end to the summit, but they're back in business once again
We're
here
gonna
in
watch
Major
5
2.
o'clock.
You can see how well they're
you know,
playing.
Central,
Even
we're
in
gonna
those
watch Peter
final
Bye
moments,
Puyo get
the
a
difference I see is
get a
Major
win.
1. They were playing flawlessly, right? But also there was a lot of
so
solo clutch
peak.
points. And as I'm speaking, we're looking at a solo clutch. But throughout this second major, I feel like the chemistry has been higher. We've seen them do more kind of duo-oriented plays in these final moments. And it's what I love to see from Sky and Scroll as they've evolved.
And Shark and Teeny will be kicking themselves because that standoff of Frosted Flats, that was their decision to rotate over Mini Miner. If they hadn't ended up in that stalemate, they could have sorted themselves out, got ready for the mid-game, and instead we saw it end in disaster for them.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Sky and Scroll. Every single time they've been asked questions of this grand finals, and of course last one as well, they have had the answers for it. Sky and Scroll, every single time there's a team landed on them, they've had that answer. Every single time there's been a team fighting them here in the mid game, they have had the answer. And the ultimate question was asked of them, of course, in that last game. Can you fight off the team in that second place, the team that's chasing you when the pressure is really on? They had the answer again. It just seems like these guys cannot be stopped right now. And, you know, to be honest, realistically, yeah, 30-lim win and Sky and Scroll not to get any points. That is a pipe dream, but you never know, I suppose.
Well, they lost Summer after taking an unwise fight off spawn that they didn't necessarily have to take. And so they've learned from it. They've moved forward. I can't wait to see what happens for them in game 12. And I'm also really excited for Kami and Hari. They have confirmed their spot at the Global Championships now after disappointment in Dusseldorf. And it's really exciting to see Hari in particular. He is an endgame insurance policy for this duo, always picking up huge eliminations when he makes it to the final moments, Mini Miner.
Yeah, and sort of at the beginning of this this sort of season, I suppose, you had to say, is that Hari and Kami, the big question was, how are they going to do this season? They really need to qualify for those global championships because I've always said Kami is that sort of LAN goat. He's that player that just shows up on LAN, and here in the grand finals as well, showing up. You mentioned it right there. Hari, what a performance from him this weekend. Really, really excited to see not just what Kami can do on that global championship stage yet again, but also what he can do alongside Hari, because he has really showed up this weekend to Carter and just showed up beyond probably a lot of people's expectations.
Yeah, at the start of the day, we kind of were breaking down how well both of these players are playing their roles. Hari eliminating everything, getting a bunch of damage, playing that fragger role perfectly, and Kami has been putting him in the position to do so.
It's been a perfect marriage. Let's take a look at the leaderboard because we need to take a look at page 2, gentlemen, because we're looking at the cutoff point for global championships. Given that 8 of the 9 already qualified duos are in the top 17, it means that that is the cutoff. So right now we know that Vico and Malabuka already, we're going to see them in Belgium. So you're looking at Acer, Turtle and above. We've got to give props to Yanis and Rax. They didn't have a performance to write home about yesterday, but today they're looking really secure and they're really building up to have a fantastic game 12 to Carter.
Yeah, it's what you love to see, kind of being a bit more comfortable higher up in that qualifying range, but they're not comfortable enough where the nerves aren't going to be there going into game 12. Every single duo on that second page that we looked at has a chance to qualify, but also a chance, Mini, to drop out.
Yeah, something that I spoke about going into this game about that sort of second page was because it was so wide open now, and of course, you know, there's a lot more of a disparity between sort of 11th and 20th, is that the teams that want to qualify for the Global Championship, which of course a lot of those teams, they need to make the most of these last 2 games, and Rax and Yanis definitely did that. I mean, it wasn't the best game ever for them, it wasn't an absolutely perfect game for them, but an 8th place with 7 eliminations really, really puts them in contention right now. A team that weren't on that standings, though, a team that weren't in that second page and are not on the screen right now, it is Mr. Savage, and of course truly they had a pretty poor performance there, just 1 spot out of the placement points. So the big question for me right now is, can they clutch it up in the last moment? It seems to be always Mr. Savage doing it. Can they end the weekend how they started?
There's so many big names right outside of the cutoff. We talked about the fight for first. It's not very probable, but for all the duos that have a shot at qualifying to the Global Championship, this is their last chance to make it happen. Just some of the names outside of the range right now: Cringe Volko, Mr. Savage Truly, Izzy Nosif, Nebs Nathan. There's just too many Titans that have everything on the line going into this last match.
Well, here's the thing, guys. You can prove yourself to be the best duo in Europe today after Game 12, but you can't prove yourself to be the best duo in the world unless you make it to the FNCS Global Championships. After this game, we'll know who is in contention. So let's get into Game 12.
Look, as far as Savage and Truly are concerned, Levin, maybe you want to chalk it up to it just being for the content, but we are going to need to see some big performances here in Game 12. And they're not the only ones trying to seek out that global qualification spot. They don't want to have to try and fare their way through that last chance qualifier. It is just going to be absolutely ballistic on that side of the pond. So obviously here, Game 12, it's time to get the job done. So let's see it.
So much talent currently sits outside of our globals qualification threshold. And that means just one thing. This game is about to get wicked. We are about to see so many different duos doing everything in their power. Before we get to globals though, let's take one last look at our major champions here. Sky and Scroll will land at Frosted. And I think, quite humorously, as the analyst sort of mentioned, for them to lose the FNCS from now, they would have to go down with 0 points, which uncontested or spawn isn't an issue. And Shark and TV would have to drop a 30 elim win, which has never been done. And I don't think anyone's even come anywhere close to putting up them type of numbers. So Sky and Scroll will do their victory lap, but Mr. Savage and Truly will just be trying to stay in the race. Marius and Fredoxy have not had the best FNCS final, but they will look to spoil the party here for Mr. Savage. Can he 1v2? No! Mr. Savage, the dream, the script. What a terrible ending to the story. They will go down at the hands of Fredoxy, who will add salt to the wound with an emote on top.
He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew exactly where he was going. He knew exactly what he was spoiling. Fredoxy enveloping the villain role here on day 2, but game is game.
That,
and for Fredoxy and Medius, that is going to be they try to kick things off here. Prizing still on the line. After all, Shark and Teeny on the other hand, though,
so they're keen.
They
Everybody
have admitted defeat. Sky and Scroll have already taken to social media. It is just way too big of an ask to expect for anybody to actually be able to get 30 eliminations and a win to overtake them. And for Shark and Teeny right now, they've got to be a lot more worried about whether or not they can even defend their second place position, because if Aldous and Larix are able to roll them over here, that might just be enough for somebody else on the leaderboard.
Did they actually already go to social media?
That gap not quite solid enough just yet, but Larix Valdez, they might have had the jump start. But even with the jump scare, Shark and Teeny are all too familiarized with evil Fortnite, and they will not be shaken.
Bro, they already went to social media. I'm actually crying.
Managed to win it. You can see where exactly things might have gone south entirely.
They won back to back. That's crazy.
Went a little bit further there.
Well,
that will be Maldis and Larix.
It is what it is,
locking in the 49th place this weekend. Shark and Teeny.
Bro, them niggas already went to social media.
I mean, look,
bro.
We have to talk and give them their props. They tried their hardest, and they made things fun towards the end. But when you're playing against one of the best duos in Fortnite history, it's always gonna be a tough task.
Bro, okay. Don't say all that now, bros. Sky and Scroll is not the best duo in Fortnite history, bro. You're fucking like, bro, Vico won that shit by a fucking fluke. Peter Bonapoyo almost won that shit, and fucking Sky and Scroll was dog shit, bro. In the summit, bro. They're fucking terrible. They're ass. Like that shit was That shit was so fucking crazy. They got shit on off spawn, bro. They shitted on off spawn, bro. But then it was like, oh well, now they're, now they're FNCS champions. So hey, not the worst thing in the world. But then it would be so crazy, right? Just to think about like if Sky and Scroll really just sell the bag again, bro. And then at globals, like I know they're gonna do good at globals, but I don't think they're gonna fucking win globals. They're not winning globals. I think Peter Bonapoyo actually might win globals, bro. If the season's actually fun, bro, it's just over, bro. 12.3K. God damn, yo. That shit is crazy, yo. 14.6, 12.3. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, there's mad niggas on here, bro. There's mad niggas on here. Shit's so fucking crazy, bro. What is that? 41.3K. Yo, just like genuinely, like just the thought process of like how many fucking kids are on this app, bro, throughout globally, bro, is fucking insane.
One thing that becomes very scary with Teeny and Shark, which we learned from the heats, is when Teeny and Shark don't feel like they have anything to play for, they become the scariest team in the lobby because they will just run at everyone and they often win most of the fights. And so if you are a team who is trying to qualify for the Global Championships or trying to hold on to your spot to qualify, this is the worst team you can face. Jaw and Tidy will go down. And they came into this game in 8th, and I think they should be able to hold on. But boy, is that not how they wanted this game to go.
That shit is so crazy.
Not in the slightest, because even if you've got that spot locked in for globals, off the consistency metrics, there is still a decent amount of prize pooling up for grabs, and you've essentially just got to sit it out, wait and see whether or not you actually get overtaken on the leaderboard. It can be a tough pill to swallow, but right there with you, Lev, Shark and Teeny, just every bit of the way, looking like Crash Out Nation currently, and you would think that they're like desperate for some kind of whopping performance to take them across the line here, but no, it's just them absolutely free-forming it the whole way through. They don't care. They're just making whatever plays they feel like they can pull off.
No.
Yeah,
today
and
is the day that people win, like
look at the player count. Look at the amount of teams that are already out of this one.
But also today is the day if they figure out if they
does
qualify
not
to
resemble what
globals
we have
or not.
seen previously so far this weekend. I would love to get a leaderboard update because I wouldn't be surprised if a couple more of our teams who were in global qualification spots have gone down without us noticing just how many players have been falling.
The title for an FNCS champion.
I mean, there must be a couple of them who are already out of it and just holding on. Scott, oh, he's playing a bit of keepy uppies. GG, well played. Look.
Yeah,
clicks, fans, rise. Clicks, fans, right. Hey, look, supporting their boy, I guess. Look, one thing we have to say on not Shark and Teeny, on Sky and Scroll before we really start to lock into the global spots is this is one of the best duos ever. To back-to-back EU majors, nobody's done it since 2021. It hasn't felt doable for a long time. We've seen some all-time great performances, Taco. But I think what really solidifies Sky and Scroll to me,
that shit is fucking bonkers, bro.
No mythics, no medallions, no gimmicks, no broken POIs, just pure Fortnite excellence at a level that we have not seen. Two of the most complete players we have ever seen touch this game. They can do it all. I think the only comparison I've really seen people make, Taco, as far as the all-time greats and people in their primes when it comes to just this level of perfect Fortnite, is Cammy and Seti from way back in the day, which is a fair comparison.
Yo, Shark and
But
Team
even
are
then,
just fucking like
you have to make
everybody,
the
I'm not
argument
gonna
that
lie.
these
They just
guys
don't give a fuck.
can fight
Because they know they lost, so they
in a
don't
way that
care,
maybe
bro. They
Canyon
got,
City,
like,
even at their best,
they got
couldn't.
8 eliminations right
And
now,
that
by the
really
way, as just a
is what
duo.
makes these guys such a scary prospect going into globals. And when you look at the
Yo, they
all-time
just don't give a
great
fuck.
teams.
And Shark is
And that's
14, by the way.
bigger
Shark
end of
is
things
14 and
that
almost won
I
F.
think is impossible to avoid if you are one of the competitors that is already
Victory is
confirmed
not
for
fucking
globals. Every single other region, you are going to be voting every step of Sky and
Victory's
Scroll's
not fucking
performance
winning,
here
bro.
in Grand
We
Finals.
already know who's gonna
Even
win this
with
fucking
slight
grand,
shifts
bro.
in the meta,
Like,
Sky and Scroll
I
have
mean,
still
maybe
managed to
there might be a new
overcome, and they
champion
deserve
today. Who
every
fucking knows?
single
But
bit of
bro,
praise
Poyo was primed
that
the
is
fuck
headed
up,
their
bro.
way.
Nobody's taking
You
this
can
crown from
never
Poyo,
say enough
bro.
on these two,
Like,
especially
he's
after what they've accomplished this
primed the
weekend.
fuck up.
And given
Yo,
the fact
P
that
had
they
his
had so
prime,
many
bro.
other teams
Poyo's primed
trying to
up.
ruin it
You
in
know,
the process, and yet they
Peterbot
still
still was
manage
kind of in
to
his
hold their
prime, not as,
composure
you know,
and achieve a level of Fortnite that,
that
like
nigga
you
still,
said,
yeah,
Lev,
bro.
just hasn't been seen in a
I
very,
think
very long
the
time.
definition of being prime is
But
winning
now,
everything.
looking back out at all of these other teams that can't afford to lose their nerve either in this final moment, Nebs and Nathan, bit calmer,
And now they're
but
first place by 1 point.
that player count just thinning out so rapidly. Shark and Teeny also on the move.
So I
Roxy
mean,
and
that
Marius
just
not
shows
too
me
far
and
off
you
in the distance
that
either
having
from where Nebs and
fucking
Nathan
a
are
couple
currently
bad
at.
games doesn't define what game. It doesn't define the rest
If I
of
had
the
to
fucking
take a guess,
tournament,
Lev, wouldn't be
bro,
surprised
just
to
drop,
see
like-
Fred and Marius potentially playing spoiler.
Nigga, your
Some of
ass
these
was
other
already,
duos
your ass was
offering
bugging yesterday, talking
bubble
about something like, oh my god, we fucking like, we're
for
fucking
that
faking, we're
global
fucking faking, like, I'm
qualification
fucking
spot,
terrible, I'm
and
fucking
Pink
terrible,
and
like,
Haris.
bro,
So
like,
hard not to
you're,
lose your composure.
Nana, you're bugging,
these
Nana,
guys,
you were
this is
bugging the other day,
Probably
bro.
one of the biggest games of Pink's career. When you look at the
Yeah,
heights
until
he used to
yesterday when I
reach,
fucking told
playing
you that shit,
alongside
and he
Anas
was like,
back in the day.
he was like, bro, shut the fuck.
It's been a while since we've really seen him shining. And what better opportunity than the Global Championships to show people, to prove to people, he's not done, he's not finished. They have to make this game count. They can't afford any slip-ups, any mistakes.
Yo, shut the fuck up, bro.
What also just makes that so tough too
No,
for
your
a duo
fantasy, it
like
keeps
Pink
it
and
keeps it.
Haris is that even Pink himself at one point has
You're
said,
team
I've
locked
never invested
yesterday.
more of myself. I've never given my all to something and not had it
Sky
come
and
back with
Scroll
some
won today.
metric of success.
Oh, we're talking about
And
like,
yet,
oh, NA?
his recent tourneys in
Yo, I'm gonna be
Fortnite
mad
have
as
all
shit, bro.
just been
If
devas-
if there's not, okay, I'm gonna name out a couple of teams that I want to win. I want Peterbot Poyo, of course. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like Vino, but I like Agers. I want Agers and Vino to win. I want Cold and Ritual to win. And then those are the only 3 teams I want to win. And I promise you, if they don't fucking win, I'm gonna lose my shit. If one of those 3 teams don't win, bro, I'm gonna lose my shit. Bro, because there's a random map, bro. If you tell me Oliver OG wins FNCS before I can make it pro, bro, I'm gonna be mad.
Going into this game outside, and so need a big performance, but they're already a great example of a duo that has had such a fantastic comeback so far in day 2, but needs to do just a bit more. Teeny and Shark on our screens now, going up against Sky and Scroll. A little too late, lads. But boy, this would have been. I mean, yeah, maybe, but at what cost, man? What would we really be achieving here? Nothing that would change the standings rapidly at the top.
They've already set their
Vico,
eyes
fuck
on
no, bro. That nigga's in
physics
like
yet
15th
again, though.
right now.
But Sky Scroll also following suit.
Holy
Teeny
shit, Teeny just got
actually going to
fucked
meet
up.
his end. It's Bimbo and Radeon. They're going to be the first that they actually get caught out with. But
fucking
Shark, he's just looking to try have an opportunity to look
I
maybe
think
play for
most
a
EU
revive
players are like
of
that.
Bimbo and Radeon.
I think most
This
EU
might have
players
actually
that
been
come to
a very
NA
big lifeline
just are
for
just gonna get
these
fucking
two.
shit on.
Shark
And that's the
has a
same.
lot to
That's the
offer.
same thing with
Unless
with
they can't bring
NA
him
too.
down, Shark already gonna get one in Bimbo.
That's the
Radio
same thing
might
with
just be
EU
that
too.
next
Like,
and Shark
genuinely,
turning
it
in
fucking
his
holy
favor,
shit,
just
this nigga
like
just
that.
fucked his ass up in
Despite
the corner.
losing TD,
Yo,
you can
but
never
genuinely,
just
like,
run
That's what happens. Like when you're an EU player and you come to Central, you're fucking dog shit. Because one, you're playing on what? Like, if I'm guessing from how good their internet is, I'm gonna say like 20 ping, probably 20 to 30 ping. And I mean, that's not bad, but at the end of the day, like like in a pro's eyes, when it gets 0 ping, 20 to 30 ping is not fucking good. So, since we've been playing on it so much, like we'll be good no matter what ping we get on. You know what I mean? Like we have that variety since it moved us to fucking like, laggy ass. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And we have better variety than everybody else since the merge split. And not to mention like, well, same with NA. Like NA is dog. Like NA, I'm not gonna lie, NA is fucking dog shit, bro. Like if you in NA, if you come to EU, most of the pros are just gonna get shit on by EU, literally. Like, and I don't know what the whole debate is saying that EU is better than NA because that's not true, bro. I'm watching EU grands, bro, and I'm watching NA grands, bro. EU is so ass. Bro, this nigga Sky and Scroll is winning grands by like 200 points, bro. Fucking prime the fuck up, bro. And that's the same team that got shit on during the summit, bro. No, no, no. They can. They can. They definitely can. Now they're one of the pros where it's like, oh well, you put them in like EU. I mean, if you put them in like NA, they can do good. Like same with like, I'ma say, Shark and Teeny, they can do good too. Maybe like Thomas Focus and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like all they're doing fucking like shit cans, bro. I don't know, bro. But then you can't really say much about it too because Vino came to NA and Queasy came to NA, and their Moneymaker came to NA and Moneymaker called grands the very first time he entered back into the comp scene. Yeah, Moneymaker plays controller. Yeah. Like Moneymaker is good on both. Yeah, he's fucking insane. And it's like he's still ass, but he's good though. At least he made grands. Like like we can't do that. We can't make grands because they have the experience. We don't. You know what I mean? Keep in mind, like Shark is like 14 to 15. Victor V's like 14 to 15. Josh Riley's like what 15. Like at the end of the day, these kids are fucking young. Imagine when they get to Peterbot's age, like 18 and 19, and they're still playing at the high capacity, bro. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna be fucking crazy. You know what I mean? And it's like at the end of the day, like they're so young that they have the talent that some players don't have. Oh, like, and one thing I definitely learned is like, all it takes is one fucking year, bro, and you can become a Fortnite pro just as long as you fucking put your mind to it, bro. What? Josh Riley got a PC from fucking Clicks and now is shitting on Clicks and contesting him. Crazy, right? Bro bought this nigga a PC and everything, bro, and is now contesting him for his own drop. Share, bro. What? That's fucking crazy. Nigga got a PC from Clicks. A year later, he's a pro playing with Yonzo, qualified to EWC, and now is contesting Clicks for his own drop spot. Like, bro, if that's not crazy, then I don't know what is. Isn't Shark's dead, bro? What are we talking about?
A little bit of a power position. They wait for an opportunity to strike, but
I'm not gonna lie, bro. OC is fucking terrible.
Making their
bro.
move towards front side.
Bro, Alex has like 8 FNCS wins.
But
he has 8 FNCS wins. Peterbot has, if we're gonna say he has 7.
We talked about them
or
leaving
6.
a big game.
However the fuck you want to count it. But at the end of the day, it's like
these teams
this
are setting
nigga
up to do it.
OCE is fucking ass. They let this nigga win 8 different times and he's still running down shit too, by the way.
That can't be Nebs and Nathan's story if they want to be back on that global stage.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. No, I don't want to move.
And we need to see the Nebs and Nathan we have seen all
I don't
throughout
want to
this
move
season in divisional cups and
I
all.
don't want to play against straight dog shit players and
No
then go to
time
NA and
to
EU
buckle
at
here.
globals, bro.
Nebs and Nathan have just got to be concise with every single move they make. They're gonna take their time, really try and see whether or not they can find opportune moment inside of the mid ground. They want to stay one layer above ultimate low. They know that's very likely where Sky and Scroll are going to be operating.
Why would you go to a
Sky
dog
and
shit
Scroll
region
met with problems of
to
their
just
own
win
here? Still, it
grands,
doesn't matter in comparison to
qualify
what
for
Rax
globals,
is
and
trying
then
to
get shit
accomplish.
on
Playing
when
the
you go to
Medkit,
NA? You know
Sky
what I
and
mean?
Scroll out
Instead
of
of
the
just
lobby,
being the
though,
best
now
player in
means
NA
frontside low,
and shitting
up
on
for grabs,
EU
and other
and
teams
NA.
looking
You
to
know what I
take
mean?
advantage of it immediately. Pablo Chino also looking to cut players short. It's Pixie and Swizzy making things very complicated right now for Focus and Thomas, but it's Pixie and Swizzy that pay the ultimate price here. Is he a no-sip though? From deep inside of the storm, playing through that backside of zone. It's getting so chaotic on the front end of things, but Nebs, Nathan, they're going to be the ones that are trying to take matters into their own hands. They've got an opportunity here, Levin, and as small as it might be, they are going to have to seize every bit of it because they don't have any other options if they want to make it to globals.
Yeah, these guys have the benefit of some of those teams in the qualification spots have gone down and they don't have a chance to fend off their point leads. And so Nebs and Nathan, if they can start to add a couple more limbs to the tally and continue to control low ground, they might just do enough to book their tickets to Antwerp.
It's just so scary though, especially when you can hear all these audio cues around you. Nebs, Nathan though, managing to carve their way through frontside still. They see Kenty right in front of them. They're gonna punish Chino the moment that he tries to run for the body loop. Pablo incredibly injured also, but Nebs hasn't had a chance to look bad and get those shots in just yet. Nathan needs some help, but Nebs won't be able to fall back in time. He is going to find another onto Cheatin though. Every single elimination bringing them one step closer to potentially securing that qualification spot, but Nebs, he's not finished. He sees Fruzy, he knows the body, but he doesn't get the siphon. It's going to be the Storm, takes care of that player instead. Will be utilizing that Chug Jug just to buy himself a little bit more time. The placement is going to be the topic of focus right now, as Izzy also doing everything in his power just to try and stay alive. One placement further, but Winter and Hellfire have held strong here on the low ground. They haven't had the chance to turn back around against Swizzy and Pixie, who are now looking for the immediate collapse.
Swizzy and Pixie will wrap this Grands up and take game number 12. But it's all about that leaderboard. We know our champions. We know who's been victorious, but who will be going to globals, Frankie?
We have to wait to find out, but right now, a huge congratulations to Sky and Scroll. They won Major 1 in glory. They had devastation, underperforming and placing 4th at the summit, and that could drive any duo apart. But this duo are built to bounce back, and not only have they done that, they have done that in dominant fashion, Miniminer.
Unbelievably dominant throughout this weekend. Unbelievably dominant throughout Major 1. So close to claiming that Summit title, but they have done it. Back-to-back major titles for the best duo in EU. Over on NA, we've seen the Peterbot era, but ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sky and Scroll era.
Shivers. I'm getting nervous just thinking about the Global Championship. Not only did they win Major 1, now they've won Major 2, and we talked about the devastating end to Summit. Let me remind you, they were first place going into the last match. That's 250K for first, and they went down not to second, not the third, to fourth. Dropped down from 250 to 70K, but now they've shown. There were doubters. You switch your drop spot. People have been broad reviewing your game, your play style, your strategies. It did not matter. They proved every single person wrong, and now have won the back-to-back majors. I am so excited to see their performance at the Global Championship because they are looking like they're at a whole other level.
Honestly, throughout this weekend, every single question that was asked of them, they've been landed on. They've had doubters. They've been in mid-game fights. They've had Storm Surge to deal with. Every single question that was asked of them, they have dealt with. They are by far the best team on Europe right now. And as you mentioned, Takata, those Global Championships, they're coming for.
I mean, it was one mistake. It was one mistake at Summit that cost them the victory, and they have learned from it. They have grown from it, and everyone in the lobby at the Global Championships needs to be ready for Sky and Scroll. So let's see who will be joining them in Antwerp, because the leaderboard is ready. We're going to be looking at the top 17. So you can see there, Hari and Cammy, never any doubt. From that day one performance, they set up their stall early. Cringe and Twy, huge congratulations to them. Day two wasn't quite as comfortable for them, Mini Minor, but they showed that they deserve to make it to their next FNCS LAN.
Yeah, definitely. They're a team to look out for now. They're a team that have cemented themselves as one of the best in the region. Their day one performance will not be forgotten one bit. Unbelievable performance from the UK lads right there. Personally, so happy to see them in those standings as well. And a big congratulations as well, of course, to iDrop and Gonzo. Gonzo making his first LAN here at the Global Championships. Really happy for them too.
Yeah. It's so exciting. I mean, iDrop and Gonzo, what a performance. I can't wait to see Gonzo on LAN for the first time, Takata.
It's exciting. Just on the first page too, there was 6 out of the 9 already qualified teams, but iDrop.
One, bro. I still don't give a fuck. But well, this doesn't matter. I'm top 33% in the entire world for NA, bro. Oh my god, after today, bro, I'm straight gonna be like top, bro. I just need CDC, I need 20, and I need this faggot too. I need this monkey, bro, to actually do something good for me. Fuck. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna go hop on some real quick. I just think like fucking I just think it's so boring. It's so brain dead. You know what I mean? Like just that's what I'm saying, and it's so weird. Like you bring back a shit, ass server just not to do anything with it. What is it? By the way, we have to grind. Wait, just let me know, we have to grind. Reload. So gotta grind reload, bro, for the tournaments, bro. Nigga, for the cat, you gotta get Unreal for the Cash Cup, fuck nigga. Yeah, you gotta get Diamond, and then you have to get Unreal, because that's what they're gonna fucking do. They move the ranks every fucking time. Do this shit every day. I get 27 MS. Fuck you. Oh my god, man. Once that fucking loss leaves, bro, oh my fuck. Why am I 15 to 60? Fucking 10 times faster if I just bought that shit. I literally asked my mom. My mom came by my house. She came to my house, and I asked her if we can go to Best Buy, and she was like, no, because she has to take care of her dog. I was like, bro. Huh? No, not a lot of it, but I just wouldn't fucking prefer it, because like if you're trying to go pro level, I mean like you can go pro on this keyboard. Like that's just I'm just dead fucking hoping right now, I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm not bad on this fucking keyboard, I'm not gonna lie. Like but if you want like a high efficiency rate, bro, then like and I'm on like I'm averaging 50 to 60 to 70 ping right now. What is going on? What the fuck is going on to my own region? What is going on in my region, bro? It says I should be 27 MS right now. Oh, it's cool. I'm not even doing that shit right now. I'm about to just do my aim training. I'm on Discord so we can talk more. I'm calling you on Discord.
Yo?
Yo?
Good, bro.
Yo, genuinely, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I think it should be back to fucking like it should be back to East, bro, and that's just so not fair. It's so not fair to the competitive players that have to fucking move to Dallas for that bullshit. And I'm lagging too, by the way. I gotta go fucking check my settings. Like, what is going on with my shit? Yeah, I might have to reset my game real quick, but like I'm gonna have to end stream though. I'll be right back, chat. Actually, fuck it, bro. I'm gonna go fuck my ping, bro. It's fine. Doesn't matter.
Bro, I'm gonna play on this fucking cyber power keyboard, bro. Fuck.
You said what? You're not gonna be playing on
Bro, why does the cyber power keyboard that I got from the fucking PC feel way better than the fucking keyboard I have, bro? Just actually trolls.
Fuck.
What's your polo rating on that keyboard?
What do you mean?
Your polo rating.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
That's how fast your keyboard is, bro.
Oh, I don't know. I gotta look it up.
Nah.
No, 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 no. 0.2. I have purple switches. I didn't even fucking know that. Holy shit, what?
I have blue, bro. Piss water ass keyboard, bro.
Yo, you're not, bro.
Wish I could get a new one today, bro.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Should I just reset my fucking game, bro? I'm not. This shit started to piss me off.
Yo, I'm a high ass ping too, bro.
Oh, so it's just fucking Fortnite, or it's just fucking game right now.
Yeah, how much are you at?
50 to 60 right now.
Yeah, I'm on 51, bro.
Fuck is it?
And the average on when I went to my settings is 32.
Now my shit just went up to fucking 70 into 83. Bro, are they working?
In Texas,
Yo,
bro.
nigga, are they fucking living in? Are they like, what the fuck are we doing, bro? Like, are we just like? I don't think they're ever bringing back East, honestly. Fortnite got so much disrespect on East. I don't think they're ever bringing that shit back.
But what the East do, bro?
Fuck, I don't know what the fuck, bro. They just thought it would be a good fucking idea to have Amazon basically controls all the server-wide network. So they just fucking got rid of East, bro, and bring back West. That's actually so fucking gay. Like,
who owns Amazon?
I don't know who the fuck owns Amazon, but whoever does, bro, I know niggas are so fucking mad, bro. But that shit is so bullshit. Like, why the
beer balls mad, bro? I remember the East days, bro. I didn't used to play tournaments that much back then.
Like I remember when I used to fucking get on Fortnite and queue up like a solo victory cup, bro. That shit used to be so fire, bro. I'm hungry. Yo, ready for the new map change, bro? Huh?
Dude?
Like the new season.
Oh yeah. You have to study that shit though, dude.
I know that.
There's just shit that you can't do on a $15 keyboard now. It's like, how the fuck do I have this shit on my hands, bro?
Yo, I'm fucking tweaking, bro. I thought someone was like screaming at me or something. Like, I don't know. What'd you say, Matthew?
And there's just certain shit you can't do on a $15 keyboard, bro.
Yo, then just buy a new one.
Thing is, I don't have.
Yeah, don't
money,
fucking
bro.
don't say that word.
What makes you think I have money, bro? Yeah, I bought a PC, bro. When I said I was gonna buy the next day, bro, I just bought a day earlier, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, just simply buying a regular $2,000 keyboard. I mean, buying a $2,000 PC, maybe $3,000 PC, and bought a 200 or 300 cost of a monitor, and then you're buying a 300%. You're buying a 300 and a TKO keyboard, and you already got a Logitech, which costs like $30, and you bought that shit the same day. And you also buy mad V-Bucks and shit, so like I'm not gonna lie, bro, if anything, bro, like you're living the dream over there, bro. You're just fortunate.
I'm just gonna move to Dallas, man. My dream will be completed, bro. Ain't nobody moved to Dallas, bro.
I'm moving to Dallas, fuck.
Yeah, when we get like mad earnings, bro.
I was about to say, nigga, you over here making it seem like nobody moving to Dallas, bro. I'm moving to Dallas. If they bring back East, I'm moving to Florida. If they don't bring back fucking East, bro, I'm moving straight to Dallas. I don't give a fuck.
I might move, like, yeah, I'm gonna move to Miami.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have a good-ass penthouse over there, bro. Oh, that's fucked, bro. Like, one of them large ass. Toner? Dude, the freaking go, though.
Dude. Oh my god, don't.
Shaq just be kissing people like that, bro.
What, nigga? What is wrong with you?
Shaq just grabbed his girl and then just fucking kissed her, bro. He was like, when was the last time you kissed somebody? That nigga grabbed from his big ass hand. It was like, right now, and fucking kissing the shit out of her, bro.
Who kissed her? Shaq?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you watching? You're actually so unreal, bro.
Yo, Duo Cup Zoners is peaking right now. 2K, bro? People playing that shit?
Nigga said with his big ass hands.
You have to see it.
Nigga said I have to see it to believe it, bro.
Stacking balls and stacking balls. Stacking balls and stacking balls. Stacking balls.
Hey, yo, like you're actually fucking strong.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go on and do my thing. So DJ turn it up.
Fuck, there's one more shot, bro. Where is that? He's actually a fucking truck,
I wish I didn't love so much. Let me put some baggy pants on. I like to play while having baggy pants on, bro. It's like so bad.
Yo, fine, nigga, shut that shit up.
It's like somewhere comfier, bro. Have you wore baggy pants before, bro?
Fuck no, bro. I do not like that style. I'm not gonna lie.
It's is magma, dude. It's deeper shit, bro. Oh shit, hold on.
Stacking balls and stacking shits.
The AC's on. I'm fucking your mom. What the fuck?
Yeah, bro. Nigga, I'm pretty sure my mom's fucking you, bro, after all that moaning you did yesterday.
What is that?
I said I'm pretty sure my mom's fucking you after all that moaning you did yesterday.
What moaning?
The moaning, nigga. The moaning that you did yesterday, I'm pretty sure my mom's fucking you.
Your mom?
Holy shit, nigga. You made a joke and I just made one back, bro. Like, it's not funny when you have to fucking explain it. Like,
I didn't. That wasn't. Bro, I wasn't even talking about your mom. What are you talking about, kid?
I wasn't talking about mine either.
Yeah, who was you talking about?
I was making a joke back to. Oh my fucking god. Yo, it might be raps, bro.
Could be danger.
So our last placement yesterday was 90, bro. We managed to be on the first beat, bro. I'm actually so fucking happy about that shit, bro.
Go back. Let's see.
I'm fucking. Whoa. My fucking ping is on 114 right now. What the fuck? Yo, is it me? Is it just me? Or is it you too?
As fuck too, man.
What the fuck is going on? I didn't mean to put the exclamation points on there.
Like a joke. He said his mom is fucking me after all that. Your action, bro.
You said what, nigga? You really have to
You
fucking
said
pull
her mom
Did you really just fuck?
you.
What the fuck, nigga? That's not what I said. Yo, you're pulling out some crazy ass shit, bro.
You said your mom. I'm pretty sure your mom is fucking me, bro. With all that moaning, no?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said, bro. Your mom is fucking my. I said my mom was fucking you because of wait, because you was like, you said I'm fucking your mom. I said no, my mom's fucking
No,
you
I
after
didn't
all
mean
that
to,
moaning
yeah.
that you did yesterday. Yeah, that's what I said.
Didn't mean nothing, bro. I was just trying to say some shit.
Like I'm tired of the fucking no money jokes, bro. Like this shit is so fucking boring and it's so cringe.
Money jokes?
Bro, it's just like I'm tired of hearing like the same thing I've been hearing for the past like fucking the entire like 15 years of my life, bro. I've been hearing Bro, I have no money, but I have no money, bro. Like, genuinely, I know you do, bro. You just don't fucking care enough to share, bro. Like,
What's this going to, bro?
nothing.
I know it's gotta flow. Yes, sir, bro. I might buy that shit. I don't need no more skins from inside of shop. I might buy the volley girl, bro.
I want the fucking chest piece, bro.
Is it still in the item shop?
I don't know, but if it still is, I want it.
No, it's gone.
I promise you, once I make my first earnings, bro, I'm buying everything I've ever wanted, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Yeah, song real quick. Congratulations, that song.
I'm gonna go take my shower too before NA starts, so I don't gotta worry about doing it later. Like after I'm done warming up, I'm just gonna take a shower or whatever. You know, bro, where has Justin been at, bro? Remember the one little ass kid that you used to play with all the time?
Oh yeah. Street something.
Yeah, bro. Like, where'd that nigga go at? That nigga's a grown ass man paying child support now, bro. I heard the nigga's voice, bro. Nigga's deeper than mine, bro. That's got me, bro. What even is that?
He's still in music. He just went to high school, bro.
You said what?
He just went to high school, bro. He's tall as fuck, though. He's like 6'1". Bro, when they see us at the stage, bro, making millions and shit, come back. Matthew and Capitate just made $1 million, bro.
Like, respectfully, I'm fucking lagging. What do I do? I can't full box a drone. I can't hit my shots. I can't do a double edit because I'm lagging, bro. This shit's actually so big. That's crazy, bro. Nigga, I can't believe that nigga went. He's a 9th grader, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. What? I can't believe I went from playing with that little ass kid to arguing with that little ass kid to now he's a fucking 9th grader, sounding deep as shit. And he's 6'2", bro. And this nigga is probably getting a whole fucking job, bro. Like, yeah, this kid's actually like legendary, bro. What? I'm not doing it, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not free betting. I'm not doing the rest of this shit, bro. Cause I'm fucking lagging so. Hey, bro, what is it? I'm gonna put us in a game real quick. It's some random ass fucking game. And if I'm still lagging, I'm just gonna restart my PC. Respectfully.
Do an endgame, bro.
No, the pit, nigga. Just go private. Cause I'm not trying to fuck. I'm just trying to see my ping. We're not fighting, nigga. I just want to see my ping so I can fucking back out and restart my shit.
Well, God, 60 ping, bro? How much are you at?
60. I'm restarting my PC.